Hello! What we're going to do today is take a look at another little piece of kit which came with some of the FPV gear I purchased. This is it. It's still in the wrapper. I haven't unboxed it, but I thought we'd give it a go at building it, see how it goes. The purpose of the kit is to actually hold a small monitor on the actual small monitor like that. Hold it on the top of the transmitter, so it would sit on the bar at the back and hold the monitor something like that. Something like that. Okay, so let's take it out of the packet and have a look. Okay, two arms, one of them. Okay, so I've no idea how this goes together, if I'm honest. Okay, so let's give it a go. There's lots of bits, not a lot of idea how this goes together, if I'm honest. There's lots of different sized pieces. Okay, let's see what happens. So I'm assuming these clamp over there. Probably something like that. They're going to go something like that. Some L brackets. Something like that. I don't know. I think to the internet. Okay, so I've had a quick look on the Banggood website. That is what it should look like. Not quite sure if that's in focus. Yeah, something like that. That's what it should look like. So we've got the side pieces coming off the side of the transmitter, with them just screwed on. So let's give it a build. Okay, so that type does fit, and there is in fact there's 5 of them. Yep. That type doesn't fit. Okay, so it must be this type. Okay, I'll get these attached and we'll see you in a second. Okay, so slight change of plan. Got this upside down, I think. I think it should go with the circular end at this end, so you can actually adjust the angle that you want. See you in a second. Okay, so I've managed to get them attached fairly well-ish. They're not tight. I've left a bit of adjustment so I can twist them if I need to. So I think we're going to need to put L brackets on next to attach this. So that's going to be these two. See them. I'm going to assume it's going to be these two. They look roughly the right size. Maybe. Okay, so one of them goes through there. Okay, and then I'm going to assume these ones go through that one. And we're going to be something like that. Which you can't see. Something along them lines. So again, not going to do them 100% tight. Come on, there we go. Okay, so that's just nipping into the nylock. Yep, I'm happy with that. Washers, I assume these go on these ones. Maybe not. Probably doesn't show very well on the camera. Does it show up? Maybe. But yeah, they're bigger than I thought. So I think they need to go back into the middle of these. So good job I didn't do them too tight. I expect they go in between the L bracket and the actual, I say carbon fibre, I'm not convinced it's actual carbon fibre. Yep, that looks good. Actually, I've decided I want to flip that around slightly. So I want the bolt coming from the outside, through the washer, through the L bracket, and the nut on the inside. Pretty much just so the screwdriver is a lot easier to get on the outside than in the middle. Okay, washer on. In fact, yeah, I needed through there first, then washer on. L bracket and a nut. Okay, so I'm just going to now do the same thing here with them two and them two. Get rid of them, don't need them, spare parts, and we'll see you in a second. Okay, so I've got them bolted on. I've nipped these two up fairly tight, so they're not particularly movable. I've left the ones on the inside, these ones a little bit slack, so you can move them. I probably will tighten them a little bit more. I've also just nipped up the ones down here. Again, not overly tight. Don't want to actually break any of these. There's a little bit of flex on there, but it should be fine at that. Okay, so the next thing is actually fitting the screen. On the back of mine there is this channel, but at the bottom it's just a tripod mount, if I can show you that. Yeah, let me get some light. Something like that. Yep. And included with the kit is a little screw which fits perfect. So rather than trying to mount this so it sits like that with the back flat and trying to mount something in there, what I'm going to do is just flip that down, flip that so it's level, put the screw through there, and it will just sit on top. The downside to that is that it does put a little bit more force at the front, thus potentially twisting it, but we'll see how we go. Okay, I'll get this screwed on and we'll see you in a second. So this is it, it's built, it's attached, I've got my screen attached, and I have actually used it, so I've removed the protective cover from the screen. The radio antenna does actually just cover the screen a little bit. To be honest, if you just pop it forwards that little bit, it's really not noticeable. It feels surprisingly sturdy. Even if it is top heavy, it doesn't actually move about much. Though there is just that little bit of flex in there. So yeah, let's go and have a try. So, initial impressions. First big thing was the top heaviness. It really did show itself here. It meant that I was holding the radio a lot tighter, and I was kind of fighting against it tipping forwards. The antenna was a little annoying. It isn't greatly in your field of view, but it is noticeable. It did all feel very sturdy though. Surprisingly sturdy, to be honest. I did find myself lifting the radio on the screen close to my face. Yes, that's just a product of the way FPV via a screen like that works. I certainly don't think it's a long-term piece of kit. I think I'll figure out a lot more what I'm doing with FPV, figure out how to fly properly, things like that, and then I'll start to use goggles a lot more. One of the positives I did find with this setup is that when I had any kind of issues, like I got disorientated or when the camera is looking more into the sun, it struggles to actually show a decent image. It was a lot easier to know where I was and to reorientate myself. this was only my first flight, so there's obviously some tweaks that I can make to my setup. The camera is straight out the front and it's evidently not good. When I'm flying forward fast, it's looking very much straight down at the ground. But it's all things like that which I can work out later on. This is only my first flight, FPV still. And it's all just good fun learning. So here you can see where the camera is looking a lot more directly towards the sun, and the image is just dark. And again here at the end I've kind of lost myself, flown a little bit towards the sun, and I've lost where I am. So I've actually stopped using the screen and flying it line of sight now. So yeah, my overall impressions of this are quite favourable. For the price, which is very little, I think it's a nice piece of kit. So yeah, thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. We'll see you next time.